Hey, it's Rachel, and I'm here to discuss the Tom Swift pilot. Okay, so we started the pilot with Barton having a launch party before he goes into space, and Tom being late to it. Unsurprisingly, this leads to an argument between the two of them where Barton suggests that Tom shouldn't bother coming and expresses his disappointment with him. So, for anyone who decided to check out the Tom Swift pilot but hasn't watched Nancy Drew, there was a backdoor pilot that introduced us to Tom last year. And in that Nancy Drew episode, we learn of Tom's fears that his father will never value his accomplishments and that he feels shame over the fact that Tom is gay. So I'm sure this argument that Tom and Barton had compounded those feelings because, as Tom mentioned, the space journey that Barton is about to take is only possible with Tom's discovery of that meteorite. Upon the tense way Tom and his father left things, I kind of had a gnawing feeling that it was going to be the last time they talked. I honestly half expected the launch to fail, and that little moment we see of Tom watching the ship take its voyage, I thought it was just going to explode. So I was really surprised that Barton successfully spent 6 months there. But upon seeing the ship explode during that live feed that Tom was supposed to have with Barton, I very quickly came to the conclusion that it was probably purposeful sabotage, and that seeing the ship fail in this fashion would probably have people start doubting Tom's ability to lead the company, which I'm sure is a goal that the saboteurs have. Unfortunately, after this explosion, Tom presumes that it's the result of a failure in what he built, and he's blaming himself for his dad's death. That is until Barclay uncovers that the explosion did not start with the propulsion system, meaning it was something external, something that Tom had nothing to do with. So I love that Tom was immediately determined to get answers as soon as he heard that. And when the legal route proves to be fruitless, I like that he quickly jumped into spy mode. Also, I have to say the espionage stuff, I do like that genre, so I pretty much always have a fun time with it. But it was so much fun with all this futuristic tech that Tom has at his disposal. He was able to get into that secure part of that building in literal seconds. Incredible. I love it. But anyway, as you'd expect, given this is a TV show, Tom nearly gets caught while he's grabbing the data that he's after. And thankfully, as other people are coming towards the room, an individual pulls him into the closet before they can catch him. The tension between Tom and Rowan when they were in the closet, wow. Now, I have no idea how it could work, given Rowan is on the bad side, which, given the fact that he helped Tom, I feel like he's not on that side by choice, because otherwise it doesn't make sense that he would help Tom. But I hope the writers are actually planning to pursue this, because just really excellent chemistry. And Rowan being protective of Tom, when he barely knows him, that is very much my shipping MO. And the way Tom was flustered by him when they were in the closet, so good. So good. I'm so into it. But after that, Tom comes back home after that night of chaos. And pretty much immediately, he and Zenzi get into an argument. And that was rough. To be completely honest, I think they were both kind of out of line because Tom was being really flippant towards her. But yikes that Zenzi said he was being selfish. Because Tom literally just lost his dad. He's obviously going to be acting out right now. Because losing a parent while you're in your 20s is, or if you unfortunately happen to be younger, it's rough. And obviously we can see from the moments at the beginning of the episode when Zenzi and Barton were greeting each other, they obviously had a relatively close bond. But I'm pretty confident that she did not have nearly as high of a standard that she had to reach as Tom did to get Barton's approval. And then add in the fact that Tom and Barton's last interaction was so tense, like, that's obviously going to compound all of Tom's negative feelings. Like, please give him a break. So, as Tom is dealing with these overwhelming feelings of grief, he finds himself in his father's office and he just kind of has a breakdown. And the moment when he found that folder of items he had given his dad was so painful. Like, especially when he found that card that said he was going to successfully send him to Saturn and that little prototype spaceship. Like, honey, he just wanted to make his dad proud, and he was relentlessly pushing himself in order to do so. But, like, this is proof that he was proud, even if he did not communicate that effectively, obviously, given the way Tom thought he felt about him. And Tien was so good in this scene. And I'm so glad this happened because Tom really needed some kind of physical proof that his dad cared, because he was just beating himself up. But plot twist, as Tom is digging even more into the ship explosion, we learn that his dad actually survived. And I gasped. Like, I was not prepared for the reveal that this was going to be a rescue mission instead of, like, a detective kind of thing trying to figure out what happened to his dad. So I'm happy because now we can have Tom and his father reconcile, which I'm looking forward to. But I was blindsided by this. Unfortunately, though, as Tom kind of gets this plan, the road back has infiltrated Barclay in order to keep tabs on him. So it's now going to be a race to beat them in saving his father. And so I think this is going to be a fun time. I like that it's like a road trip adventure, and then there's also kind of like a sci-fi element with this futuristic tech, and there's also like some espionage in there. Like, I think it's going to be a really fun ride, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the season pans out. This was pretty quick. I probably didn't say anything all that interesting, as it's just the pilot. But I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on the episode, so please leave a comment if you'd like to chat about it. And I'll see you guys for episode 2 next week. Bye.